Have you ever wondered what secrets Father Pio holds about the future? Did you know he left an impactful prophecy about 3 days of darkness? Today, in this video, we will explore Father Pio's revelations and discover how these predictions could change our view of the world. Father Pio, known for his miracles and stigmata, was an Italian Capuchin priest who dedicated his life to faith and serving others. Born in 1887, his life was marked by mystical experiences and profound spiritual teachings that have left an indelible mark on millions of believers. What message did he want to convey with his prophecy? Are we prepared for what may come? Stay with us until the end to learn all the details and understand the relevance of his words in our current lives. The life and works of Father Pio. Father Pio, whose real name was Francesco Forgione, was born on May 25, 1887, in Pietrelcina, Italy. From a young age, he showed a deep religious devotion and an inclination towards spiritual life. At the age of 15, he joined the Order of Friars Minor Capuchin, where he adopted the name Brother Pio in honor of St. Pius V. His religious life was marked by intense spiritual fervor and mystical experiences that accompanied him until his death. One of the most notable characteristics of Father Pio was the appearance of the stigmata on his body. These stigmata, similar to the wounds of Christ during the crucifixion, first appeared in 1918 while he was praying in the monastery choir. Although he initially tried to keep these signs secret, they soon became known and attracted the attention of the faithful and the curious from around the world. Father Pio's stigmata were the subject of numerous medical and religious studies, but no conclusive scientific explanation was ever found. Father Pio was also known for his miraculous abilities and his gift of bilocation, the ability to be in two places at once. Numerous stories recount people seeing Father Pio during critical moments of their lives, even though he was physically in his monastery in San Giovanni Rotondo. Additionally, he was attributed with healing powers, and many pilgrims came to him seeking comfort and miracles. Confession was a central part of his ministry. Father Pio spent long hours daily confessing to the faithful, and it was said he had the ability to read people's hearts and souls, offering precise and comforting spiritual guidance. His dedication to this sacrament attracted thousands to his confessional, seeking absolution and advice. One of his greatest tangible legacies is the Casa Sollievo della Sofferenza Hospital, founded in 1956 in San Giovanni Rotondo, which remains one of Italy's most important medical institutions and a haven for the sick. Father Pio conceived of this hospital not only as a place of physical healing, but also as a spiritual refuge where patients could find comfort and hope. Father Pio passed away on September 23, 1968, leaving behind a legacy of sanctity and devotion. He was canonized by Pope John Paul II in 2002, and his life continues to inspire millions worldwide. His sanctuary in San Giovanni Rotondo is one of the most visited pilgrimage sites, attracting millions of faithful each year. In summary, Father Pio's life was marked by his deep faith, his mystical gifts, and his tireless dedication to helping others. His contributions to the Catholic faith and his spiritual legacy continue to inspire and guide people from all over the world, reminding us of the importance of faith, compassion, and service to others. His life is a living testament to the divine presence and the power of prayer, a beacon of hope in times of difficulty, and an example of unconditional love and total dedication to God. The prophecy of the 3 days of darkness. The prophecy of the 3 days of darkness is one of the most well-known and debated revelations associated with Father Pio. This prophecy has captured the imagination of many believers and scholars of Catholic prophecies due to its apocalyptic nature and its call for spiritual preparation. Although it is not an exclusive prophecy of Father Pio, as other saints and mystics have also mentioned similar visions, Its association with him has given it particular relevance in contemporary Catholic tradition. Father Pio, born as Francesco Forgione in 1887 in Pietrelcina, Italy, was a Capuchin friar known for his mystical experiences, his stigmata, and his ability to perform miracles. During his life, he had numerous visions and revelations, many of which he shared with his followers and the Church. The prophecy of the 3 days of darkness stands out among these revelations for its emotional and spiritual impact. The context of this prophecy is set in a period of great upheaval and change in the world. The 20th century witnessed 2 world wars, the threat of the Cold War, and rapid technological advances that transformed society in profound and unexpected ways. In this context of uncertainty and fear, Father Pio's words offered both a warning and spiritual guidance. According to Father Pio, the prophecy of the 3 days of darkness describes a cataclysmic event that will envelop the world in complete and total darkness for 3 days and 3 nights. During this time, all artificial sources of light will fail, and the only available light will be from blessed candles. This period of darkness will be a time of purification and judgment, where demonic forces will be unleashed and the righteous will be separated from the wicked. Father Pio described that this darkness would be so dense and oppressive that people would not be able to see anything or anyone around them. Houses should be completely sealed with windows and doors closed to prevent evil entities from entering. During these days, Father Pio warned that no one should leave their home or look outside, as those who do will be instantly taken by evil. The only protection during this time will be faith and prayer. Father Pio recommended that the faithful prepare spiritually for this event by confessing their sins, attending the Eucharist, and having religious objects like rosaries, crucifixes, and holy water on hand. Blessed candles in particular will play a crucial role, as they will be the only source of light that will not be extinguished by evil forces. Additionally, Father Pio urged people to recite the rosary and other prayers fervently during these 3 days. Prayer will not only provide comfort and strength, but will also act as a spiritual shield against evil influences. He emphasized the importance of maintaining an attitude of calm and trust in divine providence, ensuring that God will protect those who remain faithful and devout. Father Pio also described that at the end of the 3 days, the darkness will lift and the light will return, revealing a purified and renewed world. This event will be a clear sign of God's power and mercy, a reminder of the need to live in a state of grace and always be prepared for the coming of the Lord. Those who survive these days of darkness will witness a new beginning, an opportunity to rededicate themselves to His will. Although terrifying in its description, the prophecy of the 3 days of darkness carries a profound message of conversion and hope. Many interpret this revelation not just as a literal event, but as a call for constant spiritual preparation and vigilance in a world filled with distractions and temptations. Father Pio reminds us of the importance of remaining steadfast in our faith and not forgetting the spiritual reality that underlies our daily lives. This prophecy also invites us to reflect on the fragility of life and the need to always be ready to face the unexpected. It urges us to live with a contrite and humble heart, always willing to receive God's mercy and to act with compassion and love towards others. Ultimately, the prophecy of the 3 days of darkness is a call to conversion and spiritual preparation. It reminds us that although we may face times of darkness and tribulation, the light of faith and hope in God will always prevail. It is a message given decades ago that remains relevant today, inviting us to live our lives with purpose, devotion, and a renewed commitment to our faith. Interpretations and meanings. The prophecy of the 3 days of darkness, attributed to Father Pio, has been subject to various interpretations over time. This revelation, which describes a period of complete darkness accompanied by apocalyptic events, has resonated deeply among the faithful and has generated a variety of theological, spiritual, and symbolic interpretations. One of the most common interpretations is the literal one. From this perspective, the 3 days of darkness are a real physical event that will occur at an indeterminate future date. Believers of this interpretation consider the prophecy should be taken at face value, and therefore they prepare both materially and spiritually to face these days. This preparation includes acquiring blessed candles, holy water, rosaries, and other religious objects, following Father Pio's recommendations to protect themselves during this time of trial. Another interpretation suggests a more symbolic approach. From this perspective, the 3 days of darkness do not necessarily refer to a physical event, but to a period of great tribulation and spiritual purification. This interpretation emphasizes the idea that darkness symbolizes the absence of divine light and the need for a deep spiritual renewal. In this sense, the 3 days of darkness could represent moments of personal or collective crisis, where the faith of believers is tested and purified. Additionally, some theologians and scholars have proposed an eschatological interpretation of the prophecy. In this context, the 3 days of darkness are seen as part of the final events before the final judgment and the second coming of Christ. This interpretation is based on an apocalyptic reading of the Scriptures, where it is mentioned that great signs and wonders will precede the end times. The 3 days of darkness, therefore, would be one of these signs, marking the beginning of a new divine order. There are also those who interpret the prophecy from a psychological and emotional perspective. For these interpreters, the darkness represents the internal struggles and existential crises we all face at some point in our lives. The 3 days of darkness could symbolize periods of depression, anxiety, or loss, during which faith and prayer are essential to finding the light again. This interpretation highlights the relevance of maintaining a spiritual connection and seeking divine guidance in times of personal difficulty. The relevance of the prophecy of the 3 days of darkness today can be seen from multiple angles, as its teachings and warnings offer valuable lessons for both spiritual life and everyday life. First, the prophecy emphasizes the importance of spiritual preparation in an increasingly secularized world full of distractions. The call to prayer, penance, and confession is a powerful reminder of the need to maintain an active spiritual life. Spiritual preparation is not only relevant in the context of an apocalyptic event, but also in daily life, helping believers face difficulties with faith and trust in God. Additionally, the prophecy underscores the fragility of human existence and the impermanence of material comforts. The 3 days of darkness remind us that despite technological advances and modern comforts, humanity remains vulnerable to forces beyond its control. This vulnerability can be a call to humility and gratitude for daily blessings, as well as an incentive to live according to strong moral and ethical principles. In the context of contemporary global challenges such as climate change, pandemics, and social and political conflicts, the prophecy of the 3 days of darkness can also be seen as a metaphor for the need for transformative change. Just as the prophecy speaks of a period of purification, the modern world faces the urgency of purification in terms of social justice, environmental sustainability, and community cohesion. Father Pio's teachings can inspire individuals and communities to work together for a better and more just future. The relevance of the prophecy is also manifested in its ability to provide comfort and hope in times of uncertainty. In moments of crisis, faith in a divine plan and hope for a renewed future can be sources of strength and resilience. Father Pio's words offer a perspective that despite trials and tribulations, divine light will always prevail and guide the faithful to a new dawn. In conclusion, Father Pio's prophecy of the 3 days of darkness remains a significant source of spiritual reflection and preparation for many believers. Its varied interpretations, from the literal to the symbolic, offer different ways to understand and apply its teachings in daily life. In a constantly changing and challenging world, Father Pio's call to spiritual preparation and faith renewal is as relevant today as it was in his time. Preparations and recommendations. Father Pio, known for his mystical gifts and revelations, offered a series of specific tips for the faithful to properly prepare for the 3 days of darkness. These tips, mostly centered on spiritual preparation and strengthening faith, are seen as essential guidance for facing this period of trial. 1. Confession and repentance. Father Pio emphasized the importance of regular confession and sincere repentance. For him, being in a state of grace was crucial to receiving divine protection during the days of darkness. Believers should confess frequently, sincerely repent of their sins, and do penance. 2. Assistance at the Eucharist. Attending Mass and receiving the Eucharist were fundamental practices recommended by Father Pio. The Eucharist, considered the body and blood of Christ, provides spiritual strength and is a source of grace that helps the faithful remain firm in their faith. 3. Constant prayer. Prayer, especially the recitation of the Rosary, was strongly emphasized by Father Pio. Praying the Rosary daily not only strengthens the relationship with the Virgin Mary, but also acts as spiritual protection against evil forces. During the 3 days of darkness, Father Pio advised fervently praying for divine protection and the intercession of the saints. 4. Blessed candles. According to the prophecy, the only sources of light that will not go out during the 3 days of darkness will be blessed candles. Father Pio recommended having an adequate supply of these candles at home. Blessed candles symbolize the light of Christ and his presence amid the darkness. 5. Religious objects. Having religious objects such as crucifixes, sacred images, medals, and holy water in the home is another important recommendation. These are not only tangible reminders of faith, but also act as tools of spiritual protection. 6. Avoid curiosity and temptation. Father Pio specifically warned against the temptation to look outside during the 3 days of darkness. According to him, evil forces will try to deceive people with familiar voices or strange noises. The faithful must resist curiosity and remain in prayer under divine protection. Practical recommendations for believers. In addition to Father Pio's spiritual advice, there are several practical recommendations believers can follow to be prepared both spiritually and physically for the 3 days of darkness. 1. Home preparation. It is essential to have the home prepared before the 3 days of darkness begin. This includes ensuring that all windows and doors are closed and sealed to prevent the darkness and evil forces from entering. It is helpful to have thick curtains or blinds to completely block any exterior light. 2. Essential supplies. In addition to blessed candles, it is important to have enough non-perishable food, drinking water, and necessary medications on hand for those days. While the focus is on spiritual preparation, being physically prepared ensures there is no need to go outside during this period. 3. Spiritual emergency kit. Preparing a spiritual emergency kit can be helpful. This kit could include blessed candles, holy water, rosaries, crucifixes, sacred images, and medals. Having these objects organized and easily accessible ensures that the faithful can remain focused on prayer and divine protection. 4. Spiritual reading material. Having spiritual reading material, such as the Bible, the Catechism of the Catholic Church, and prayer books can provide comfort and guidance during the 3 days of darkness. Reading and meditating on scriptures and the teachings of the saints can strengthen faith and provide hope amid tribulation. 5. Community and support. Although it is recommended to stay home during the 3 days of darkness, it is important to be in contact with other faithful before they begin. Sharing information, prayers, and moral support can strengthen the community and ensure that everyone is prepared. Creating prayer groups and support networks can be invaluable. 6. Maintaining calm and trust. Anxiety and fear can be great enemies during times of uncertainty. Maintaining calm and trust in divine providence is essential. Remembering Father Pio's words and those of other saints about God's protection can help believers face this period with serenity and faith. Final reflection. Father Pio's prophecy of the 3 days of darkness not only warns us of an apocalyptic event, but also invites us to deeply reflect on the importance of faith and spiritual preparation in our lives. In a world where uncertainty and challenges are constant, faith acts as an anchor, providing stability and hope. It is in these moments of reflection that we find the true essence of Father Pio's teaching. In conclusion, Father Pio's prophecy of the 3 days of darkness is a powerful reminder of the need to be spiritually prepared and to maintain unwavering faith. It calls us to live with purpose and to act with love and compassion at all times. As we reflect on this prophecy and take the necessary steps to strengthen our spiritual lives, we not only prepare for any eventuality, but also enrich our daily existence, finding in faith a constant source of hope and strength. May this reflection inspire all of us to deepen our faith and live according to the principles Father Pio taught us. Let us follow his example of devotion and service, and always remember that no matter how dark circumstances may seem, God's light will always shine in our hearts. Don't miss our video on Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet. His predictions for 2024 are coming true. Discover the surprising prophecies of this mystic and how they are impacting the world today. Click here to watch it, and don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating content. We'll be waiting for you.